All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Matt Simone with Bravo Foxtrot United Veterans, and this evening we have Mr. Daniel Jackman. He was a prior inpatient resident at the Northport VA Medical Center, the 3-month PTSD program. As per his permission, HIPAA, he has been diagnosed with PTSD, depression, anxiety, insomnia, among possibly some others, but those are the main ones. He has, as an Army veteran, he has since his discharge experienced bouts of homelessness, and has since his discharge from the PTSD clinic over at Northport has also been through several emergency temporary housing facilities. And with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Dan. And again, just remind everybody, the purpose of this is to really understand what veterans are dealing with, and how limited our options really are when it comes to housing, especially trying to get into permanent and self-sustained housing.
Matt, I appreciate the introduction. I just said a small prayer there that let God's thoughts be my words, and I hope it lives up to that. It was less than a year ago that I was discharged from Northport VA's post-traumatic stress program, and in which, upon discharge, they transition you towards emergency housing where there's somewhere between 8 and 20 people per house, veterans sharing in a community lifestyle. It's somewhat difficult because you have grown men who are learning to and adjusting to living with one another elbow to elbow. But as for the last one, I was just at about a month and a half ago in Deer Park. There, I was able to be accepted into a room because somebody had just recently died and was deceased, and made a room available for me, a room which I did not know I had shared with 2 other people. So upon getting there, I actually found out that that room itself was not available. I was being sent to a different house, a room I did not agree to, into another part of Deer Park, and had to make adjustments there. Now, having my back against the wall, I had no options but to say yes. Within a few days, there was somebody who was found dead that had been dead for multiple days. My first complaint the day before, or maybe 36 hours before, was that I saw what I thought was a mouse. I had never seen a mouse before. It was a little nothing that darted back and forth. And I was told, as we were, domiciled through to a room, that was indeed a mouse, and that the house was ransacked. And it quite disturbed me. I had never lived in a house with mice before. The next morning, I was, as I was getting up, I was told that I missed all the action. What action? Would you mind asking yourself, well, what action? That there was somebody beneath me, maybe about 7.5 feet beneath me, in the room below me, who overdosed on some drug or other. The detectives were there, the coroners were there, multiple. I think it's fair to say at least five squad cars, maybe more. We're talking about a deceased person, so this is not a 1 or 2 squad car event. We're talking about when they shut down half a block. And the detectives were doing their investigation, and because of my insomnia and my medical history, I'm on medication for sleep, and I don't wake up easily. So the detectives, while they were investigating the dead body, they could hear me snoring just 8 feet away, and told the other people in the room not to wake me up for. Why wake the poor man in the middle of his sleep? Now, when I woke up and I discovered all this information from my roommates, it was too fantastic for me to believe that I had just woken up not into just which was the day before a house that was full of mice, but a house where people were living that were I was living in with people that were dead carcasses that would go on for days, and the police would not even bother to knock on your door because they figured that it was good manners not to wake you up, you know. And I couldn't believe for the life of me. Wait, hold on. So you telling me there's a dead human being, a 23-year-old young kid, that was dead beneath me for days, and mice were chewing his body, and the police came in here earlier with the coroner and took his body out, and heard me snoring and said, "Ah, don't wake that poor bastard up. He's sleeping, for God's sakes," and actually removed his remains and did whatever minor investigation that they did do with the people who were awake, which was no more than 3 or 4, from what I understand, out of the 17 people that were living at a house made for no more than 4 to 5 people. 121st West 21st Street, Deer Park. Look at it, map it. When I found out that there were 17 people living in there when I was first dropped off, I did nothing but laugh because it had to be a joke. It had to be a joke. But it is no joke. And the impact that it ultimately had on me as a veteran, as somebody dealing with PTSD, I knew that it was not a place that I could survive.
Ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there listening to this, we leave it in your hands to decide whether or not this is the type of treatment, the standards that we find are suitable for the men and women who have signed the contract up to and including the price of their lives to secure the freedom and sovereignty of our nation. Is this suitable? If you, like me, agree that it is not, well, then it is our civic duty to do something about it. Because if we don't, who else will?
Well said.
This is Matthew Simone, Dan Jackman, Bravo Foxtrot, United Veterans. God bless our troops and God bless the principles, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all human beings that made our great nation free. For tonight, we're out.
Out.
That was good.